Politics bore me, let's not bring it up at all.
Good morning. Wakey, wakey, welcome, welcome. It's the Monday morning cup of coffee. I am Tommy Womack, your host. And for once, I thought I would do the cup of coffee from where I actually have my first cup of coffee in the morning. Here in bed with my Les Paul, watching over me, keeping watch over its flock by night. And I'm the entire flock. Well, when Beth is sleeping here, she's part of the flock. So I guess it could be a flock. Can two people be a flock? I don't flocking know. Anyway, let's have a sip of coffee, shall we? Had a nice house concert in Cincinnati. Christine Hesher. That's her last name. Christine Hesher. She hosted me. It was a great time, and it was great to get back out on the road again. Just for one night. Actually 2 nights, because I went to Louisville on Thursday. I stayed overnight in Louisville. Then I drove to Cincinnati and played the show Friday night. Drove back to where I was in Louisville after the show and stayed a second night. And that way I didn't have to drive 5.5 hours at one time, which really takes it out of me. I've done things like this before, for years and years and years. Drive 5.5 hours from Nashville to Cincinnati and do the show that night and then stay over in Cincinnati. Well, I am of an age and condition that I cannot travel 5.5 hours and then do a decent show. So this is how I did it. It was a little more expensive because I had to get hotels for 2 nights, but I'm coming back in the black. Back in the black! It's sad! Been wrong, I have to go back. Good news! What's the news? Anyway, there's nothing going on this week except for the usual stuff. At 9 a.m. this morning, I will be hosting Tommy Womack's Happiness Hour on WXNAFM.org or 101.5 FM if you're in the immediate Nashville area. Tomorrow night, I will do my usual live stream concert on Facebook. And you can tell me, do you want it to be on Facebook, my artist page, or on my personal page? It seems to, I've done shows on both of them, either of them, at different times, and doesn't seem to make a difference in the size of the audience or anything, or anything else business-wise. So I might do one on the personal page and the next week on artist page, and then one on the personal page, and guess, the next one on the artist page. Or on the government cheese page, I might do that. That might be a good thing to do. Maybe I'll do a live stream on the government cheese page. That could be pretty good, actually. Probably. That's a good idea. Why, yes, Tommy, it is a good idea. Why, thank you, Tommy. I appreciate the vote of confidence. No problem, Tommy. Oh, look who's here. Come here, Sheba. Come here. Are you going to come up here? Come here, say hello to the people. Sheba's not going to say hello. And then there's nothing else the rest of the week except the radio show this morning and then the live stream show tomorrow night. Got a bladder cancer treatment on Tuesday afternoon. Those are always lovely. I'll go into no further description. If you followed me for the last few years, I've got milked a lot of comedy material out of bladder cancer. You would think it's impossible to get comedy material out of cancer. Not at all, There's just a few things that you cannot get comedy material from. The Holocaust, no comedy material there. But cancer, depends, Terminal cancer, no, you can't get humor out of that. Unless you're the person experiencing it and choose to find humor in the situation. Nobody else can joke about terminal cancer. It's just not cricket. So I have that treatment tomorrow, and it's a preventive treatment. I don't have bladder cancer at the moment. I also don't have emphysema and COPD, and my primary care physician told me I did, sent me to a pulmonologist, and he says my lungs are fine, and they're sending me to a cardiologist, and I have an appointment with the cardiologist next month, a little later than I would have preferred, but I'm curious to find out what it is about my heart that gets me out of breath all the time if it's not my lungs, and I'm surprised it's not my lungs, as much smoke as I've put down them. I'm on the vape now. My lungs feel a lot better. I'm sure it's not as good for me as quitting puffing on anything altogether, but my lungs feel a lot better. I haven't had a cigarette since October, I believe. I don't remember exactly when I quit. I just tried to go a whole day without one, and then I got one of these and bye to the cigarettes. And my lungs do feel a lot better, I will say that. But I want to get my heart checked out and find out why I'm short of breath and rectify that situation. I would exercise more, but 2 push-ups and I'm heaving for breath. You know, it's kind of like that right now. Man, am I old. I'm just sitting here talking about all my ailments. 58 years old, a rock god talking about his ailments. Next, it'll be my gallbladder. Next, I'll be talking about my operation that I just had. Boring. Oh, and I'm going to finish this week, Beyond Belief by Elaine Pagels. It's about the Gospel of Thomas, which is one of the first Gospels they wrote, and it's nothing but a collection of Jesus's sayings, and some of them are about as inscrutable as the lyrics on Blonde. You know, you read one of the sayings, it's like, what the fuck did he mean? Well, what does that mean? I can't give you an example right off the top of my head, but there are many sayings in the Gospel of Thomas where you just go, huh? What does that mean? Which probably means that it has been so disastrously mistranslated over time. Even though they didn't find the Gospel of Thomas until at Nag Hammadi, the Dead Sea Scrolls, when they found those in 1945, we didn't even know the Gospel of Thomas had existed. I don't think. Have you had enough? Has this been a long enough Monday morning cup of coffee about not much at all? It's like Seinfeld. It's the show about nothing today. This is my Tommy Womack Monday morning cup of coffee mug. I made some of these to sell about 10 years ago, and I sold them and just never got any more. They didn't travel well. It was hard to take cups on the road to sell at gigs because they're very fragile. They're flammable. Okay, they're not flammable, but they are fragile. So anyway, that's the Monday morning cup of coffee for today. God bless you. If you're depressed, send me an email, TommyWomackLovesYou@gmail.com. I will answer. That's my mission in life. We just hit the 9-minute mark. I'm going to let you go. Don't let the bastards get you down. Have a great week, and I will see you next Monday. Are you going to come up and say, come here, Sheba. Come here. Come here. There she is. Say hi to all the people out there in Internet TV land. Come on. Anyway, God bless you.
Politics bore me, let's not bring it up at all. You're either preaching to the choir or talking to the wall. I'm gonna find me a meeting and I'm not gonna share. I'm gonna find me a meeting and I'm not gonna share.